All right, in today's lesson here, we're going to be looking at the idea of linear independence. So we're going to take a look here at various examples here. Here's our first one here. They're asking us in this example, this is two parts here. We have a part A and a part B. So these are really two separate questions. But in this question here, determine whether the following set is linearly independent or linearly dependent. So what we're going to do here is throw this in a matrix. So we have 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. And what we want to do is row reduce this to determine whether this set is linearly independent or linear dependent. So when I'm doing this here, I'm essentially want to row reduce until I see if I can get a zero row. If I can't get a zero row, then we just keep row reducing to get the identity matrix as ideal. So let's take a look here. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to make this entry right here a 0. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take row 1 minus row 2. And let's go through that operation. It's going to be 1, 0, 0, 0. Write down these operations. All right, continuing on here, I want to now make this entry 0. So I'm going to go ahead and take row 2 minus row 3, in which case I get 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. These are untouched, so I just kind of write these back down just as is. And lastly, I want to go ahead and make this entry a 0, in which case I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do row 3 minus row 4, and in which case here we get, again, the first and the second row are untouched, and subtracting I get 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. So finishing this up here, I've now shown that I've gotten the identity matrix from here. So these four, if you recall, we're writing these vectors column-wise. So they're being written by columns here, you can see. And we're reducing it down to here. And this concludes that the only way that you can get the zero vector from this, right, if this is my vector v1, v2, v3, v4, we can see they're not, one can be written as a scalar multiplication or combination of any of the others. So the only way this can be 0 is if the coefficients are 0, so this is a linear independent set here. So all these four vectors are linearly independent. All right, let's take a look at part B. So looking at part B, same idea. We want to write these vectors column-wise. And the idea, again, is to row reduce this, see if we can get ourselves a 0 row out of this. So if we take a look here, I've got row 2 minus twice row 1. Again, the goal here is I want to make that 0. I'm also want to eliminate this 1 here, so I'm going to take row 4 minus row 1. And when I reduce this, the top row is unchanged. The second row will be 0, 0, 1, and then I have 0, 1, 1, and lastly 0, 1, 2. Continuing on here, I'm going to go ahead and interchange some rows. Let me reshuffle this. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 2, and 0, 0, 1. And now again, I want to go ahead and I want to make this 0. So I'm going to go ahead and do row 3 minus row 2. Continuing in this way here, I didn't touch the first or second row, so I write them back down. Subtracting row 3 from row 2, we get 0, 0, 1, and lastly 0, 0, 1. Now I want to continue in this way. I want to make this entry a 0. So I'm going to take row 2 minus row 3 here. If I do row 2 minus row 3, top row is unchanged. Subtracting 2 from 3, I get 0, 1, 0. And right away, as I'm doing this here, I'm noticing I have the two of the same rows here. So therefore, just by going row 4 minus row 3, we end up getting a 0 row here if you take a look. So right away, we know that this set is dependent, right? Because of the 0 row, that indicates that we have a dependent set. So the first one was independent, and second one is dependent. Let's take a look at some more examples. So in the next example here, they want us to find the value of A for these vectors coming out of R3, such that this set is linearly independent. Well, we approach it the same way. You put this in a matrix, so we're going to go 1A0, 0, 1A, and then A, 0, 1. And we want to go ahead and row reduce this. And if under what conditions will there be a 0 row? Whatever conditions those are, create a 0 row, those are the values that makes it linearly dependent. You want to kick those out to get the values that will create a linearly independent set. So I'm going to go ahead and go through all the same process. I want to make this a 0. So I'm going to take row 2 minus A times row 1, then write this out. Top row, not touching. Second row is going to be 0, 1, negative A squared, and this is 0A. Continuing on here, I want to make this 0. So I'm going to take row 3 minus A times row 2, and I get 1, 0A, 0, 1 minus A squared, and then subtracting I get 0, 0, and this ends up becoming 1 plus A cubed. When I do row 3 minus, if I go ahead and take row 3 minus A times row 2, it's going to be 1, 2 minuses become positive, plus A cubed. When I do that, so I have this expression here. So right away you'll notice that for me to get a 0 here, I would need 1 plus A cubed to equal 0, which implies this is sum of cubes formula. So this breaks up into A plus 1, A squared plus A plus 1. This has only, this is never 0 for any real value. So the only way this can be 0 is if A equals negative 1. So when A equals negative 1, we're going to get ourselves a 0 row here. And you'll notice there's no other option to get a 0 row out of this. This won't happen for any value of A. You're not going to have a 0 row here. Likewise for the first one. So the only possibility is the third row, in which case that happens when A equals minus 1. So the solution to this question is that when A equals minus 1, we have a dependent set, so therefore independent. Let's write this out. We have an independent set for all A not equal to minus 1. We have an independent set here. So as long as A is not equal to minus 1, any value you choose will create an independent set. All right, now let's take a look at another question here. So in this question here, they end up giving you 4 different vectors, and they want you to determine the largest linear independent subset of this. So this set they're sort of hinting at is dependent already, and I want to reduce this set to find the largest independent set I can create. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this in a matrix, writing these column-wise. And then I'm going to look to row reduce this and try to get the identity matrix out of this. So let's go ahead and eliminate these 2 entries. So this will be row 3 minus twice row 1. This will be row 4 minus row 1. Again, I'm not touching the first row, so write it back down. Not touching the second row. And this will be 0, 1, 1, 1. And then this will just be 0, 3, 5, 3. Continuing on here, I want to make this entry 0. That's a quick operation of row 3 minus row 2. And likewise, I want to make this 0. And that's going to be a quick operation of row 4 minus 3 times row 2. Continuing on here, not touching the first row, nor am I touching the second row. And this ends up being zeros all the way across, and then this ends up being 0, 0, 2, 0. All right, let's reorganize this. So 0, 1, 0, 2, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. I'll go ahead and just multiply that by a half. And then lastly, I have 0, 0, 0, 0. So I want to continue in this way here. I want to go ahead and make this entry 0 here. So I'm going to take row 1 minus twice row 3. Continuing on here, you get 1, 0, 0, 1. With this, I want to make this entry 0. So I'm going to go ahead and take row 2 minus row 3. And doing that here, we get 1, 0, 0, 1. And this ends up being 0, 1, 0, 1. So now you take a look here. I went to go put this in, get the identity matrix out of this, and I found out that I end up getting a 0 row. So as expected, as indicated in the question, right, I know that this set is linearly dependent. But because I put some extra effort into this to row reduce it and try to create the identity matrix, I also know a combination of these. I know that these three vectors are linearly independent within each other. I cannot write, keep in mind these vectors are expressed column-wise. This is vector v1, v2, v3, and v4. And keep in mind, these three vectors cannot be written as a combination of each other. However, if I take a look at just the first two, I can see that vector v1 and vector v2, if I add them up, I do get vector v4. So that tells me that vector v1 plus v2 is equal to vector v4. So it's just an added information that you can get from these vectors. You can see, which one's dependent on the other and vice versa. But at any rate, I row reduce this. I end up getting here that the largest set I can create here of independent vectors is vector v1, v2, and vector v3. This would be the largest set of independent vectors, and that's illustrated right by the row reduction that I created here. Focusing here, I can see these three are independent, and v4 is just the sum of v1 and v2 together. All right, that'll be it for the first section of linear independence examples. We'll go through a bunch of videos on this series here. Thank you.